Every other God that has a name is foolish. And if you don't like it, too bad. Yahweh is the only wise God.
Amen.
Maybe you don't only believe it today now. Or some of you are scared because they say people don't like it. Yeah, they watch us. There are many who watch us. And there are many from different religions who watch us. And because you watch me from many different religions, your God is foolish.
Yes.
Yahweh is the only wise God.
Hallelujah.
Only. He is holy, meaning that there is no other God that can be compared to him. None. And I praise Yahweh for being who he is to us. Amen?
Amen.
As our brother Terrence would have said, today is a wonderful day for girlfriend. She's like me, she's not big into birthdays and stuff. But it's her birthday, that's what they said. She doesn't know they're right, but they told her she was born today. Yeah. I'm grateful for who she is and for what Yahweh has done in her life. And for bringing her to a place whereby, like me, these days are not as big deals. Amen. Yesterday was Brother Clyde's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So it seems that girlfriend's parents and Clyde's parents have some plan. So at least it's this time of year. Very grateful for her, amen? And for what she is to us as one of the leaders here, my wife. Exodus chapter 12. Exodus chapter 12. Teacher Errol should be teaching that covers your ministries that should have this morning.
Amen.
Amen. And I'm so grateful for the fellowship that we have. I know some of you are yet to recover from the beating that Amazon warriors took. But y'all ain't gonna be started here. As I told Brother Chubby, I told Brother Clyde that they shall lose before the match even started. They wanted this because it said I don't prophesy on the sport, so no problem. So I sat in the company of my two brothers and watched them mourn. Amen. They would have lost. That's nice. See if I know the truth, I say that.
The race is not for the
There
swift.
you go. Y'all should listen to Brother Brian earlier, you will help y'all out.
You have to console us.
Okay, I'll try to console you by the end of the day. I don't want to get any more done. I am finished with cricket. I don't care who win, who lose, who draw. I am done. Finished. The first time they sleep with Brian Lara, Carol Ball, then was whitewash in South Africa. I stopped the cricket from that day. But I stopped talking to my wife for 2 or 3 days. I grieved. I was sad. You're a joker. I was depressed for days. I couldn't catch myself. I couldn't believe Lara and these boys are whitewashed. But then I said when I got myself, this is it, my girl. You take this thing too seriously. And they helped me out. I was done with cricket. Finished. I don't watch cricket anymore unless they compel me to watch it with them. I'm done with that. But you would like to grieve? Go ahead then. You know, you enjoy yourself great. Alright? Thank you. You all don't grieve, man. You can be alright. Lose, if you lose 5 times, it should be the norm. That is what you heard. It's not the first time you lost, it's 5 straight times you lose. So what's the big deal?
That's a big
Man
deal.
said, Lord, because you won 11 games, then you lose. As usual in the finals, the 5th time. There's no shock. You all should be shocked if they won.
They like a runner-up position.
Thank you, man. Exodus 12, let's talk for a moment. Don't be mad at me. So folks who beg with the cricket, they can't sleep. Alright. And in other news, did you all see? The man dressed as a woman in the court, asking the judge not to penalize his boyfriend because the boyfriend broke up all his car windows, 6, in Guyana.
What's the windows of the car?
And their names are published in the Guyana Chronicle in this country. 2 men in the court, one dressed as a woman. Because somebody got mad and break up all the car glass, and the one whose car was destroyed said, Your Honor, don't win anything. That time don't win again. Hey, listen here.
Oh, yes.
In our country, And in other news, a woman gave her, according to the report, her wedding band and the offering band to the Deliverance preaching from the peace. It's not in Africa or in Brazil, I tell you all about. And her husband's entire month's salary. And her husband found out and told her before he comes out of the bush, she might as well go live with the preacher. That's a major fella. He's like, I didn't read the story yet. But when somebody said, Apostle, can you please speak to this? I told them just what I said. If my wife ever gives a pastor, apostle, a deliverance service worker, or a wedding band, she has announced to me that she found a new husband because he forgot my house.
That's right. Yeah.
I ain't even sending her back for it. You're going to live with the man you gave it to because obviously found a new man. You come back to my house. So when she went to Brother Pastor, the man said yes, she has to trust God. You can't get back to offering you. This is not a refund entity. You have to trust God and whatever you believe Him for, you'll get. And she's about to lose her husband. These criminals you have in Ghana preaching in Jesus' name. You never saw that in here. It's interesting that last Sunday I asked you how many of you ever had to give money to get a miracle. That's what she did. But she can't get a refund. Kind of first. My sister was in the U.S. in the church. The pastor's name is Floyd Jarvis. I don't play with you, I call her name publicly. Floyd Jarvis had the whole church bring the jewelry to him. All your gold. Because he's the priest to receive. One man who wasn't got saved, I know from Guyana, had a humongous chain. They call the big one? The roti pan. Huge chain. The fellow said, no, God was he talking about now with this. He held on to his stuff. And everybody else brought it, including Pastor Nell. Back then, brought all the gold. And Jarvis left. These criminals could talk to me about Yahweh and his wisdom. I ever do that to y'all? The day I tell you that I hear the Lord say, bring your gold here, run through the door. Don't come this side, go the next direction and start running fast. Get a bus. If you have a vehicle, drive to Sparrow Dam Police Station. Am I still? Tell an officer to come here. Because the apostle just lost his mind and he has to be taken to the Johnstown mental institution. I'm a serious heart attack with that. Did I tell you that I hear the Lord's going to bring the gold to me here? Or you have to bring a seat for me to pray for you? Go to the police and tell them I've lost my mind. I want a big red tablet. And shock therapy. They are criminals.
Yes, they are.
That's what they are. And they continue to do it. I don't know how true this one is, but a man came here and reported to me, he said, Apostle, this is painful. You went to Christ to the nations, and they said you have to list on this paper what disease you have. And attach $5,000 for them to pray for you to be healed of that disease. When you like money, it's a serious thing.
That is believable, Apostle.
Strategies and strategists could do anything to get your money. Because they already know that the congregation is likely to do what they say. Exodus, we still talk about the hour of deliverance. And you'll see why I talk all that I said to you, and now we went into the book. Last week we read from Exodus 12 where Yahweh told Moshe that this will be the beginning of months for you, not for anybody else. Exodus 12 from verse 1. We will now let's go to verse 3. Yahweh told Moshe, speak to all the assembly of Israel and say, on the 10th day of this month, each man is to take a lamb or kid, it is a young goat, for his family, one per household, except if if the household is too small for the whole lamb or kid, then he and his next door neighbor should share one, dividing it in proportion to the number of people eating. The people
Eating.
not giving, not sowing. They are to eat this lamb. They're to eat the kid. Verse 5. Your animal must be without defect. How many of you have the preacher ever told that when you come to give the Lord your money, don't crush it up? At all 1 year. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
Your money must be neat. No defect. No old money. You have to have respect for God. Some of you, when you're going to pay, you went for the best $5,000 bill to pay your tithe. Because you felt you can't disrespect God like this. I got to give him the best. Where did the best come from? Some Hindu must give you the money. This has nothing to do with having the best dollar bill, $100 bill, $5,000 bill. This was a principle whereby Yeshua the Messiah is being manifested here. The lamb must have no defect. A male in its first year. And you may choose it from either the sheep or the goat. You're to keep it until the 14th day of the month. Then the entire assembly of the community of Israel will slaughter it at dusk. They are to take some of the blood and smear it on the two sides of the top of the door frame, at the entrance of the house in which they eat. We said last week that if you had to go to church and give the pastor, the preacher, the apostle, the bishop, the right reverend doctor, whatever they are, the money to be delivered, you were deceived.
Right.
That night they are to eat the meat roasted in fire. They are to eat it with matzah or maror. Don't eat it raw or boiled, but roast it in the fire with its head, lower parts of its legs, and its inner organs. Let nothing of it remain until the morning. If any of it does remain, burn it completely. Here is how you to eat it. With your belt fastened, your shoes on your feet, your staff in your hand, and you are to eat it hurriedly. It is Yahweh's Pesach, or Passover. Verse 12. For that night, that's what we're talking about today. For that night, I will pass through the land of Egypt. And do what?
Kill all the firstborn in the
I don't
land.
trust my Bible. Your Bible marked to read. Come in, man. I'm going to canvas and your friend on. Don't sleep. Don't yawn. Don't sing. Y'all are there?
Yes.
All right, good. Read verse 12. For that night,
For that night,
I will pass through
the land of Egypt
and do what?
and kill all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both men and
Come
animals.
here and read, man. What are you
And
reading
I
now?
will
I will execute judgment against all the gods of Egypt.
I am.
Yahweh.
Yahweh is his name. He never said I'm Adonai. All right. Are we all in agreement that that's what the Bible says?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if mine said the same thing. For that night, I will pass through the land of Egypt and kill all the firstborn of Egypt. Every last one of them. Both human beings and animals.
And animals.
I have an assignment today to address the God as love people. For you to understand the difference between those who are chosen for deliverance and those who are chosen for death.
Yes. Oh boy.
All of the firstborn in Egypt did not do anything to the Hebrew people
Right?
because they were babies who were just born,
Yes.
who did absolutely nothing to anybody. All they did was be born out of the womb of an Egyptian woman.
Wow.
That's all they did. They were just the product of a sexual relationship. The animals did nothing wrong because they can't do wrong. And Yahweh said, in order to judge the gods or the rulers of Egypt, I have to kill innocent children. Y'all swallow along for that. Because when I get through with these Pentecostal, Baptist-costal, Holy Ghost costals, y'all can't touch this. Because there's a reasoning that says that this God, we don't serve him. They serve a different God. The God they serve is so just that he would never do anything to innocent children. That's what he did here.
But who gave them the right to say the child is innocent?
Man, listen here, they're no innocent. Have you ever heard a statement or this question, at what age? Oh, age, like that. The age of accountability. Yeah, you heard about that?
Yes.
So what was their age here? How accountable could a newborn baby be? Saints, if you were saint in here this afternoon and you know that Yahweh is your God with your hand, I'm praying with y'all, I'm like smiling, dead serious. Don't play with it. If you know you're not a saint, put your hand down. If you're sure your son, a saint, put your hand down. But I'm dead serious now. I like to, when I'm serious, I smile all the time, for real. If you're close to me, you know that. I am extremely serious. Don't play. Put your hand down. Alright. If you're sure you're a saint in here, let me help you with this. Yahweh has the right to kill any single person who goes against you. Amen. Including your brother, your sister, your mother, your aunt, your own child. You sure you're safe?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is just one more time. If you're safe, then put your hand up. You see some man start very slowly, man. This happening. So you get back here now. Put your hand down. Thank you so. Don't play with this person who has chosen you. Because he doesn't play with his choice of you.
Wow.
That's the hand up. That's my baby right there. Yes, that's right. Yes! You see that baby hand? Both hands up in the air. No, for real. Yes, Murphy. Yahweh, when he makes a decision to deal with their enemies, I tell you, even the children are not exempted. Unless they come on your side. In like manner, when Yahweh decides to be with your enemies, if you go on their side, because of your association or your relationship, you are equally guilty, and you deal with you in the same manner.
Oh yeah. Amen.
This is what deliverance looks like. Where when Yahweh said, I will deliver you, then even innocent firstborn children were killed. The thing is, he doesn't have to tell you why he did it.
Nope.
And he doesn't always tell you why things happen. Some of y'all don't even know that when you look at death announcement, it's the face of people who said things about you. You doesn't know that or about us.
Huh.
A man would always pounce on my Facebook broadcast and make himself a fool all the time. Has something, who you think you are? You think you know everything? You don't know the person know the truth? Ah! And one day I was on Facebook just scrolling and I saw rest in peace. Oh my God. How could she go so soon? She's such a nice person. That's his wife. Dead. So this day he never came back on Facebook. Not once to tell me a word. Because he knows why she suffered. Our preacher stood in the middle of the crusade and told the people, all this time y'all listen to this foolishness or this Jesus nonsense, this issue of nonsense. All your life you know Jesus, why listen to that nonsense? What we talking about now? Why y'all listen to Jesus, this issue of foolishness? We know Jesus is true. And the people said, Apostle, this man had a ball with your name and what you preach. And I told him, no worry. Since Yeshua is foolishness, we see Jesus to work for him. Within weeks, his eldest, most beautiful, wonderful 27-year-old daughter was dead. And they holler and pray and bawl and all that for her to be healed, and she died. And I went to Facebook and said, now talk. Because I don't have mercy on wicked people. I said, now tell me what Jesus did for her, because she's dead. When Yahweh seeks to execute judgment against the rulers of a church that is false, even the children suffer. Yahweh looked at babies in a crib, looked at children sucking their mother's breast, and said, you dead.
Justice.
You can't serve him in righteousness if you don't like this part of it. Because I know some of y'all in here, you look at me kind of funny now, because you love God so bad that this God you love will not do these kinds of things. So why did he choose you then? We don't have the power to determine his nature. His nature is everlasting. Before you even arrive here, he had that nature. He has always been this way.
No.
Yahweh is so amazing, church, that when he chooses to preserve you, he also chooses some people to destroy because of you.
Hallelujah.
He will shut some businesses down because of you. He will cause grief to come to people because of you. Why? You were chosen by him to be his own. Verse number 13 said, the blood, y'all got to see this. The blood will serve you as a sign, marking the houses where you are. The blood of this goat and this lamb will serve you. You who? What time is this? Who?
Israel.
Right. This blood is going to serve Israel as a sign to mark the houses where you are. Why? When I see the blood, and old preachers like to talk about this all the time, I will pass over you. The church like to holler, yeah, oh my God, oh my God. What does that mean? I have to correct your theology because some of it is very bad, terrible.
You stay right.
The blood of Yahweh, the blood of the Lamb, of Yeshua, was never intended to be used for indifferent services. It cannot be used for any deliverance service. None. This blood here that you see right here is an indicator that the wrath of Yahweh shall not visit the house where the blood is present. Watch this. The people, y'all gotta get this now. Before I can move the mind, I can go by the door. So they will see y'all. There's a door right here. There's a door and there's an entrance to the door. Yahweh said, get what's called hyssop, a plant. And mark the post of your door, and not because of them to the door. Mark it. Watch this. When you finish marking it, go inside. I think lock me up, I can't get behind the thing. Alright. Bye-bye. I can't get in the house. Am I in the house yet?
Yes.
Alright, fine. Let me see if you all got as much wisdom as you think you have. But I'm not smart. Where am I?
The house.
Where is the blood?
Outside the house. On the
For the chubby
doorpost.
guy. Where am I?
In the house.
Where is the blood?
Outside the house.
What control do I have over the blood if I'm in the house?
None.
Okay.
That's right, Mark.
Thank you, Marvin. Next question. When Yahweh is going to judge and destroy Egypt, he said, when I see the
Blood.
not you.
Oh yeah.
I hope you all
Oh
get it.
yes.
Huh?
Oh yes. Got it.
Who? Oh. Y'all get it?
Yes, not you, the blood.
When I see the what?
The blood.
So when he's passing the cast judgment, it is not your good behavior to rescue you.
Yes, sure.
You see, a lot of y'all in here can get hurt now because you feel that when you pray for 3 hours, God got me covered. Your prayer doesn't protect you. What he sees has nothing to do with you.
Sees Yeshua with him. God is Yeshua who lives in
The
us.
covenant of Yahweh is not about our good behavior. It's about his choice to deliver us. So when he looks at this house, all right, we are houses, he said.
Amen.
Building up this holy house of Yahweh. We living stones. Building up holy houses to Yahweh. When Yahweh looks at us, if he sees us, you're dead. If he sees the record of your good behavior, you're still dead because you're self-righteous. All he has to see is the mark he put outside of the house.
Right.
Wow.
Everybody who was in that house was not doing the right thing.
Nope. But the blood.
Apostle, are you saying I'm permitted to sin and go in the house? If you think that, then you go to the police and tell me you're crazy. Because when you preach the mercy of Yahweh to his people, they don't want to sin.
Right.
They want to serve. Once you hear how good Yahweh is to you, your mind is never to do wrong to him. It's always to do right by him.
Yes.
But the principle in this text is, the blood is what matters, not the people. The blood preserved. The blood was a mark for the Hebrew people. He said, when I see the blood, I will pass over you. So watch this. Next one. For some of you always feel as if God has forsaken you. He doesn't love you anymore. He doesn't pay much attention to you. You've been asking for something how long ago and you never got an answer. And I don't feel as if the Lord is with me. Let me help you. He said, when I see the blood, when I go back in the house, girlfriend, I'm going to go back home. Let me go back home. So you're in your house.
Hope yours won't fall down with you.
The house can't fall, but the house falls into the traffic. All right. Where am I?
In the house.
Where is the blood?
Outside
He
the house.
said, when I see that,
Blood.
I will do what?
Pass over.
Young man is this. When I see the blood, I'll do what?
Pass over.
Read the next line.
When I strike the land of Egypt, their blow will not strike you.
Oh my God. When I do what?
Strike the land of Egypt.
The death blow will not strike. Okay, church. Where am I?
In the house.
Where is the blood?
Outside the house.
What is Yahweh doing when he sees the blood?
Pass over.
So you in the house feeling as if he hasn't stopped to talk to you.
Wow.
You feel as if he doesn't pay attention because he passed over you and he gone somewhere else. To do what?
Deliver the death blow.
I know some of y'all getting this out.
Yes.
When you feel as if he's not paying attention to you, it's likely his attention is on somebody wanting to bother you for all your life. You are in the house. You have no clue about what's happening down the road. Instead of feeling abandoned, you should feel safe. Because you enter the house with a promise.
Yes. Wow.
Yahweh is on an assignment to deal with those who burdened you for years. Your comfort is in the promise that when you are in the house, I am touching you. Because this night was a visitation of wrath.
Yes.
While you safe. When you belong to Yahweh, never grieve when you don't sense His presence.
Amen.
Because you don't serve Him by what you sense, you serve by what you know. He told you, I will always be with you, so what you do before?
Wow. Hallelujah.
I miss Brother Chris, boy. I miss the one that Mr. Corey came with us today, Brother Chris told. I miss my brother from the hallelujah right there. I could borrow one.
You tried.
Yeah.
When Yahweh is out to deliver, you don't always feel His presence.
That's
Your
right.
enemies do.
That's good.
they can't deal with. That's why I try calling somebody out to try to see how you're doing. Because you know what blows it took to try to be nice enough to say, remember they did to you. Why are you doing this? I'm not joking. I just say, how you feel today. I'm here for a long time. You don't know how they're suffering. Because you will never deal with the enemies and they don't know who dealt with them. Read verse 12 again. He said, when I execute my judgment against all the gods of Egypt, he called his name, I am Yahweh. So the judgment on Egypt had a name attached to it.
Yes, yes.
Keep mind listen here. Yahweh told Moshe to tell Pharaoh, Yahweh sent me to you. Not because he intended to deliver Pharaoh, but he said, my judgment against you must be attached to a name.
Yes, yes, yes.
Do you know many of your enemies today know Yahweh's name?
Yes.
And they're suffering because of what they know.
Oh boy.
So they call to check on you. How are you doing? I ain't seen you in a long time. I just want to make sure that everything all right. How the children doing? Tell them it is well with me. Other part, it is well with me. I know about you. When I strike the land of Egypt, the death blow will not strike you.
Hallelujah.
The next thing I like about this is, Yahweh did not tell them. This is the next thing you always do. He didn't tell them to fast.
Okay.
He told them to eat.
And eat everything. Celebrate.
Eat all. Chill, because it's deliverance. You don't fast for deliverance. Eat and eat. Because you have the assurance that I got you. So what you fasting for? Some of y'all. You're alright? You're alright?
Yes.
I know the child deliverance process to go through, right? You go through the process of deliverance. Fast for 21 days and you shall be delivered, you're still bound. Until you know the truth. All these systems they try to develop to help you to be delivered, you would have never been delivered.
Nope.
Because they were the works of men. They were traditions of men. They were systems to get money from you. Deliverance comes from Yahweh's people or to Yahweh's people when they obey Him.
Amen.
When they are confident that what you say is what I shall experience. That's when you know you're delivered. When you could be in the midst of your enemies and say, okay then, Yahweh said to take a lamb, to kill the lamb, and go in the house after I mark the post and chill. Eat. Eat unleavened bread, that's matzah, and eat the lamb. You and your family eat. Fill your belly. And relax. Because when your belly full, they can eat. When Yahweh is delivering you, your enemies grieve and die. You must live.
Oh yeah.
You don't lose weight when Yahweh deals with the enemy. You deliver it. Watch why you can't eat.
Hallelujah.
Eat your food with loud pepper. So you don't take it, you catch up, do whatever you got to do, fix it nice. I keep hearing all the time, some of you have been grieving for too long because you didn't know the truth. And you've been seeking to be delivered for so long by what you never should have been seeking in the first place. Deliverance is not your choice, it's His will.
Right.
Hallelujah.
He decides to free you.
Amen.
Not you choose to be free. This was a covenant being fulfilled. To Abraham, we are the children of Abraham. We have inherited or by birth the promise of Abraham. We have the same blessing attached to our lives. That when Yahweh decides to deal with our enemies, we must be in the house with a full belly.
Oh boy.
You don't fast for deliverance, you fast because you want to be disciplined properly, but not delivered.
The truth will set
You
you
fast because you want to be healthy. Yeshua said you fast so that your health could spring forth. I know I get this morning, but some of y'all eat too much. You get healthy when you fast, your body gets rid of toxins and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for that 2 amens. Because some of y'all say, yeah, I know that one, but I toxic can't kill. Fast! Your health comes back like perfect. If you fast 1 day in every week, you can live for more than 20 years extra. If no car knock you down or body shock you and stuff like that. All things being equal, you can extend your lifetime. Of course, medically, by over 20 years, just by fasting 1 day in a whole week. Yeah! You even die. The headaches and stuff you get is a sign that your body is free itself of poison.
Yes, true.
And your blood sugar, of course, starts dropping because you like to eat all the time. Don't worry, I'm beating about food for you. Let's go. Verse 14. This shall be a day. Are there any Adventists online? Because some of you all about the truth. All people watch me, all kind of people. Are there Adventists or Hebrew Israelites online? Watch me straight. This will be a day for you to remember and celebrate as a festival from the Yahweh from generation to generation. You are to celebrate it by a perpetual regulation. Not once in a while. Every single time this period comes around, you do it. I'm Adventist folk. How you could tell me that the 10 Commandments are when the law was introduced? You're a liar. Because this is the law. This is a law.
That's right.
Before Exodus 20 is Exodus 12. Before Yahweh ever said, thou shalt not have any other God before me, he said, you must keep the feast of Pesach. The first law Yeshua ever had was the law to kill the firstborn. This is the law.
Amen to that.
The 10 Commandments came long after this. But they had a law to follow here. If you tell me I must keep the law, why are you keeping this? Because he said this must be perpetual, ongoing, all the time. You ready for the next one? Okay, watch. For 7 days you to eat matzah, which is unleavened bread. No yeast. On the first day, remove the leaven from your houses. So the first law was about the firstborn. Here's the next law, the feast of unleavened bread. Remove the leaven from your house. Take it out. For whoever eats Hamas, or yeast, leavened bread, from the first to the 7th day is to be cut off from Israel. When Yahweh is delivering you, church, you are to not have sin in your house. You all say amen to that?
Amen.
How many people don't go to deliverance service and get delivered with sin in their house? And go back home to their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their sweet man, their sweet woman. They even say sweetheart. I like what I say, sweetheart. Your sugar daddy, your soft daddy, your sour daddy, whatever you go to. You'll get delivered from here and go right back. And then next week you show up for the next deliverance service because you're on another prayer.
Oh, yeah.
Deliverance in Israel was a sign in here. No leaven must be in the house. He said, put it out. When sin is present, you got to be with the sin first.
Amen. Amen.
Don't come for prayer first. Be with the sin first. He said, you put it out. Isn't that what he said here?
Yeah.
Where you see, he said, go to the priest and pray for you and you get rid of the sin.
Put it out.
You put it out. Of course, I have a problem with anger. When I get mad, I just cuss. Can you just lay hands on me to bind the cussing demon? Not in here. If you know what you're doing, you cuss, then stop. Don't come to me to pray for you to stop cussing. I may just provoke you to get mad to hear if you cuss again. Don't ask me to pray for what you could deal with. Deliverance services are businesses that make people irresponsible. That's all they are. There's nothing called a fornicating demon in Scripture. So you come to get delivered from it.
And you're drawn away by your
It's the work of the flesh. You deal with it. Because Yahweh said you have to get leaven out of the house. On the first and the seventh day, verse 16, you are to have an assembly set aside for Yahweh. Is that a rule? Did you give them an option here? Okay, fine. No option. Have an assembly set aside. It's called a holy assembly. On these days, look at this boy. On these days, the first and the
seventh,
no work is to be done. It's called a Sabbath or Shabbat. Which day? The first and the
seventh.
Okay. Which one do Adventists keep?
Seventh. I forget about it.
In this law, which came before the fourth commandment y'all talk about, he said there are 2 Shabbats you keep. The first day and the seventh day. No work is to be done except what must be done to prepare his food. You may do only that, nothing else. That's the law. How are we keeping this, man? Y'all tell me, but remember the Sabbath, there's a Sabbath here. Why are you keeping the one? So they come to you if you have an Adventist friend. It's a big word. They say this is a ceremonial law. And you start choking. Because the boy doesn't know the truth. Just tell them one thing for me. Say, show me the word ceremonial law in Scripture.
No, the gosh,
It's not there.
And then tell them, they say the 10 Commandments are the moral laws. Tell them, show me that in the book. Don't show me a definition, show me in the Scripture. Yahweh has the law, not the ceremonial, not the moral, not the hell. He has the law, period. Whatever he says to do is law.
Amen.
And this one said they had to keep it perpetually, all the time. If you want to go to keeping the law in Exodus 20, keep this. You're okay?
Yeah.
All right. There were 2 Shabbat. First day, seventh day. Verse 17. You are to observe the festival of Matzah, which is the feast of unleavened bread. For on this very day I brought your divisions out of the land of Egypt. Therefore you to observe this from generation to generation as a perpetual. Here you go. All right. Let's go to verse 22, then we go home. Take a bunch of hyssop. You instruct him what to do now. Take a bunch of hyssop leaves, dip it in the blood, which is in the basin, the lamb that you slay. Smear it on the 2 sides, on the top. He named the plant hyssop.
The leaves.
The leaves of the plant. Take a bunch of leaves and smear it. Hyssop is a plant for healing. It's like a mint. It's a medicinal plant. Yahweh was specific about what they had to use to mark the doorpost with. Question?
Yes.
Go ahead, Leon.
Sister Stacy is asking, according to our calendar, which day is the first and which day is the last?
Our calendar, Pope Gregory's calendar.
Yeah, well.
Pope Gregory is a Roman Catholic. According to his calendar, Sunday is the first, Saturday is the last, correct? But as a Pope, Yahweh never named the days of weeks. He numbered them.
Yes.
The kind has a question. Or a comment. 1 or 2.
I was wondering if it depends on, like, if we're Adventists and we're going according to Pope Gregory's calendar, if you're in Spain and you're Adventist, Monday would be the first, and Sunday would be last.
Because
Right?
Spanish people is doing this, Marcus,
Yeah, that's
Miracle is there.
what I'm saying. So if someone else is from England,
Oh.
Sunday would be the first and Saturday would be
Lord.
last. So aren't they all supposed to be in unison? How's that make any sense?
You got to trouble with this.
Please try to break apostle.
It's right bad. In Spain, whoever is Spanish is in the school, he doesn't teach to the whole class. He just, like 20 seconds, they listen to the teacher. In Spanish, they say the days of the week are, begin with what? Lunes, which is Monday. Martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, jueves. Good, we all know the rest. I lasted 20 minutes in the Spanish class. Now, Chicana's question is very, very legitimate.
Yeah.
In Spain, the first day of the week is Monday. So what would be the seventh?
Sunday. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The 7 days about.
Yahweh never named days, he numbered them.
Okay.
And he said on the seventh day you must do this. Because remember what he did with Israel and Egypt, and I'm happy can ask the question. He told them in Exodus 12 verse 2, this will be the beginning of months for you. So Egypt's calendar continues. But in their system, he said, stop, don't follow their timing anymore, follow mine.
Right, because Sister Stacy is saying she was talking about not the Gregorian, the one that was
That's right.
so the first and seventh in that calendar.
In Yahweh's calendar,
Yes, if you could.
they don't have numbers of days.
Oh, so how would
That's
they
why
know?
we don't keep Shabbats now.
Oh, okay.
That's why Colossians shows us, Hebrews is perfect. Shaul said to the Hebrew church, the Hebrew people said there remains a rest for the people of Yahweh.
Right.
And Adventists like to quote that scripture. You see, you gotta keep the Sabbath. No. What amazes me about Adventist people, and I'm talking this in disrespect, y'all, I'm telling you the truth. They go in the first year to seminary and they learn Greek. They have to learn Greek when they go to Adventist Bible School. Watch this. When they come back to talk to me, and I say, well, you learn Greek in Bible school, right? Yes. Okay. Now, what's the word Sabbaton in Greek? Nobody know Greek! Nobody know Greek! These people are beyond evil. Bradley Knox, you who watch me, you're beyond wicked. Because he knows if he answers my question, he's dead. So I say, why you going to learn Greek for a whole year if you don't want to use it? So I just use the Greek word, Sabbaton. The scripture says, do not let anybody judge you by the difference now. There's Sabbaton, which is the 7th day of the week, and there's Sabbatismos, which is an uninterrupted rest. The book in Hebrews says there remains a Sabbatismos for the people of Yahweh. Meaning there is no interruption in our rest. We don't have any calendar system in our new life that says Monday is the first day, Tuesday is the second day. No. Yahweh says for his people, there is an everlasting rest. There's no interruption. And then Shaul told the Colossians that, hey, don't let anybody judge you by Sabbaton, which is 7th day of the week.
Right.
Because we were all a shadow of what was to come.
That's right.
When I asked the Adventist Dr. Kennedy, and Bradley, he's a doctor who teaches Greek. He said to me, why would you attend theology school for all these years? They're telling me now. And study Greek. Yeah, Greek is so eloquent. And then he started laughing. And I started to laugh more. I said, I went to where? He said, you went to theology school and studied Greek and Hebrew. Look at how well you pronounce the words. You think you could fool me? I said, sir, what theology school have you been to? I've never attended any Bible school. Lie! Can't be true! No! And I said, oh, okay then, just for your sake, if I've been there, you teach it. You teach it all the time. Tell him what Sabbatismus is. No, man, nobody will have Greek stuff. Because he knows. If he only answers the question, the argument is dead. In Hebrews, when Shaul said there remains a rest for the people of Yahweh, nothing to do with the other week. It has to do with the state of being. You are always resting in Yeshua the Messiah. Hallelujah. That's what it means. When you are Yahweh's people, your rest doesn't end when the sun goes down. You are always resting in Yeshua. Take my yoke, he said. Come on, man, and learn of me. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. Come unto me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and give you what? Rest. See, give you Saturday, huh?
Shalom is perpetual.
For Yahweh so loved the world that he gave, y'all don't like to say that? His only begotten Son, that whoever believes in that Son shall not perish, but have what? Where does it start? Oh, stop. Don't stop to now answer the question. When does everlasting start for you? When you're dead?
No.
Oh.
Then you have brought you into salvation.
So if you have everlasting life, how you rest on Saturday? You have entered into an everlasting covenant. That's why we don't die, we sleep. That's what the book said. We rest. We chill.
Amen.
And y'all holler, Apostle was a good man. Oh God, I can't be your apostle dead. Oh! I know there. Don't talk about that in my funeral. Say he's sleeping. He's resting so nicely. Look at him. He's so handsome. Don't talk about no dead. Oh God, that he dead. Don't do that.
He's a rest.
I'll be resting. And if you holler too hard, I get up and say, hey man. I can't rest. I can't relax, man. You'll make noise all the time. Yes, Brother Chucky, go ahead, Brother. Hallelujah. We have an everlasting rest, man.
Yes, Apostle. That's why it is no longer us that live, but Yeshua who lives in us.
There you go.
Because Yeshua is Lord of the Sabbath.
Hallelujah. He's the master of it. You ready for this? Let's go over this one here. So Yahweh told them, I'm delivering y'all. Remember that?
Yeah.
You have not moved?
Yes.
Yahweh said, I'm delivering y'all. You're being free tonight. What? When I free you, you have 2 days to observe. 2 Shabbats. First and the 7th day. It is feast. And Shabbat means to rest. Correct?
Yeah.
Alright. How could you be delivered unstressed?
Low blow.
If you are a saint and you are delivered, which means to be saved, why are you stressed?
Right.
What has you bogged down in this life that make you can't enjoy what Yahweh promised? The feast reminds them of the need to rest. Because my deliverer, okay, Israel was working for 430 years. They were slaves. Yahweh said, I have to free you. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because the rest for them was their life was always about labor. See, he said you must have 2 days in this year. When you live on one, the first and the 7th day, chill. To remember the rest I give you from being a slave. You are a slave to sin. Why are you stressing now? You okay?
Yeah.
Amen.
Just whatever.
2 things, Apostle. One scripture says, I will keep you, or I will keep us in perfect peace,
Shalom.
perfect shalom, whose mind is stayed on Yahweh. So
Correct.
if someone is stressed, their mind can never be stayed on Yahweh.
Thank you, sir.
The other thing, Apostle, since we have been adopted into the Commonwealth of Israel, should we then observe some of these feasts like the children of Israel did?
No, because we said you were adopted into the covenant of Israel. That's the first question. That's what they told you in the old church. And I don't preach race, but I'm telling you the truth. The European missionaries came and told us we were Gentiles. How many of y'all ever heard in church you were Gentile? You know what I mean?
I have said it still.
And that, but Chucky said instead. And that you were grafted into Israel. You ever heard that?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you. Abraham was never European.
Forced it.
The people who told you that you were Gentile were Gentiles. So let's get a part straight first.
Good. Clearing up the
Yahweh
misconceptions.
never made a covenant with European people. The term Jew was never used by Yahweh. Hitler and those people developed the term as a derogatory statement against those people who knew are imposters. Revelation 2 says, they're those who claim to be Jews.
But the synagogue of
The Hebrew, but they're not. They are the synagogue of Hasatan. I will make them come and bow at your feet. Why? Because they have to tell the truth. In Israel right now, the nation, the land, the political Israel, the black Hebrew people, whose DNA point directly to the lineage of Abraham and those people, when they go home to their country, the white Jews are trying to kill them and put them out. So for Brother Elton's question, don't say you were grafted in. They were told that you were grafted in.
yeah.
Some of us are born by the bloodline of Abraham. But Romans 2 says it nicely. You are not a Hebrew by outward appearance. See, that's where people start choking now. But by the inward circumcision of your mind. So it's not about how you look. And if you're black, you're Hebrew. You're Hebrew when you do Yahweh's will. So we, the Hebrew people, don't have to keep the feast because the feast has already been fulfilled. Fulfilled means it's completed. If Yeshua completed something, why are we keeping it? Does Meldy's hands up? Okay, good. Hold on. I can't hear you. Get a microphone. Get the microphone. Why they give me this iPad with a pink stylus?
Village Church, I was wondering, right? Because of the, I know it's a little part on the topic, but because of the geographical location of where, Israel and Egypt is located, I wanted to know if most of the Jews were Africans or white.
That's fine. They be more brown skin. Because, again, you rightly said it, because of geography, the nation, the land itself is so hot, and given to the climate, it was never inhabited initially by European people. And they get angry when you talk about this because they feel as if you are speaking against Israel as it is now. Israel has been scattered across the world. And again, Israel is not what you call it. Yeshua even said it himself. He said, everyone who was born of Abraham is not of Abraham. He heard them bad. He said, when they said Abraham is our father, he said, who? You are of your father, the devil. Don't call Abraham. You may have Abraham's DNA, but you're wicked. Because of what here. So the churches and Brother Elton asked the question, who get excited and say, hey, you have to keep the feast. You have to keep, come on, you have to keep the feast. The moment you start keeping feasts, you are saying that Yeshua did not complete the law. So what do? We remember that which has been done. We don't go back into the law. We remember what has been done. 1 Corinthians 5, I think it says that Yeshua is our Passover lamb. He spoke to the fulfillment of it. So we have him already. He has fulfilled that for us. So we go back to keep it. Amen? Amen. Good. Facebook, I didn't have a question. Alright. So how many are free in the room?
Yeah.
How many of you are free in the room? Amen. How many are free on Facebook? If you're free, then you don't be free and stressed.
Amen.
That's why I don't have stress in my life. I don't take it on. I don't have woman stress. I ain't got children stress. I don't have dog stress. The only stress I got is stress from working out. And that's physical stress. But I don't take on stuff. Mr. Andrew's hand is up. You can't be delivered and stressed out. Yes, sis.
Yes, Apostle. My husband was explaining to me the other night that some pastor in Trinidad had some people living in some cages.
Oh yeah, here's the news, but yes.
So, I said he's a wicked person. And we were talking about the name Jesus and all these wicked things that he did in the name and whatever. So So he turned to me now and asked me, how the man keep doing this, how these people keep doing these things. So I said, man, Exodus tells you that Yahweh says he raised up Pharaoh for this very purpose that he's playing out there
Right.
to destroy him. And he said, well, why God will make somebody and then make the sin and then kill them too? And he started one argument with me. I said, but it is written in the scripture.
Yes, it
See, if
is.
you want to know otherwise, then go and ask God. Well, here please with me, because if I tell you this is what the scripture says, some was made for honor and some for dishonor, he still didn't want to understand why I say I don't know what is the explanation you want me to give
It's
him.
a hard thing.
And he was more mad at me, and he believed in the Almighty God. I said, well, you can't believe in Almighty God if you believe in his son Yeshua.
Uh-oh.
I said, if you believe in his son Yeshua, you can't reach the Almighty at all.
Wow.
You believe in a God.
Right.
And the story started right there with me.
That's how the war started.
I want to know if I answer right, because I know there's no scripture say, I don't know what you want to tell you.
Sis,
Oh, God could make people and then send us sin to do something wrong if you make them for destroying it.
but that's not just your husband, that's pastors who say that. Preachers say that. Because they preach from a soulish place. They try to make God look this way to you. But he is not that. That's the God they serve. Yahweh is serious. That's why he has to be feared. The preachers who tell you must fear God. Don't be scared of him talking like he's a good friend. They set you up to kill you. You lock you Yahweh chose you in the first place. Because he wipes on you a long time. They dishonor him. Yahweh is not your buddy friend. Anybody who heard what I said today and could approach Yahweh like some normal friend, some wrong.
He must be feared.
He is to be feared. That's how you get to worshiping him. Because you understand his power. And you appreciate the grace he gives you to approach him.
But Apostle, you can't even touch screen in this bed.
Or David Granger.
You got to go in there into the room, you got to stand up. And now the sovereign God of it. You want to approach it any.
Thank you. They're so bad that they could tell him, I know you name your son Yeshua, but I will call him something else. When you ask people say that, don't take it lightly. It's a degree of disrespect that you should never tolerate. You see something you like having a good impression and a good public relation image. Oh, I'm not that apostle. I don't talk to people like that. They say that they know the Messiah is Yeshua, but they call him Jesus. And after all, it's not that bad. No. There's a reason why I become so blue with them. Because they are disrespectful. I don't call them nice, they're wicked. How could you know? If you know who Yahweh is, you will never risk saying what he didn't say. You don't adjust his word because you're looking for death. Yes, brother.
Apostle, in man art, in American history, when you know a man's name,
What do you do?
and you call him Mr., it was a disrespect.
That's right. You address the person by their name. Let's close with this. How many of y'all, when you were lost, in error, you didn't know the truth, went to baby dedication in church? Baby, or you dedicated baby in church. Pick a child for the pastor, pray for the child, or the pastor, the bishop. You saw that?
Yeah.
All right.
I was
I
godfather.
want to borrow a baby. Let me a nice baby. Let me a dancer or somebody. When you cry, if you don't cry, don't bring a baby.
Marvin.
That's you can cry or eat it. Come, baby, come. Let me use for 20 seconds. Bring the mommy, bring the baby. Come. That's perfect scenario. So the baby is coming to be dedicated unto the Lord. You remember this day?
Yeah.
You got to put the baby, man, got to bring the air. What a kid. Good. All right. Watch this. Right. I'm talking to you, Jesus preachers now, y'all. Watch. The mother, come on, Elton, you're the deacon, you gotta work. Deacon Joe, Deacon Elton is coming to help you with it. Bring the mic. Come and do that. What? The pastor, the apostle, the bishop, the general bishop, because it's a big day now. You got the God, mother, your God, here behind it. Good. Ask the mother the question. What is the name of this child? You let us on the part?
Yes.
You let us on the part?
Yes.
So please, can you get announce the name to the church? What name is this baby name? Watch. And it happened after you. I didn't hear exactly what she said, right? So I don't want to make a mistake. What did you say? What's her name? Michael Hadassah. Yeah. These devils take their time to call an earthling's name right. Have you ever witnessed one of these demons tell you, I know her name is Michael, but I call her Michelle?
No.
Don't you see them making an effort to call the baby's name right at the dedication?
Yes.
Yahweh called his son Yeshua and said, you call him Yeshua. And these same pimps could say, I know that your name is Yeshua, but I choose to call him something else. And I must be nice to them.
Yeah. Yeah, they expect you to be nice.
Never.
So if you were this altar and I tell you, listen, you call her Michael, I will call her Marcel. What will you tell me? Talking to me.
That is not her name.
Oh. Why are you defending her name?
I can't defend somebody else's.
That's not the name they give her.
You defending what you know you give to her.
That's right.
What is he supposed to do?
And the two.
Do you see why these Jesus preachers are being exposed to this extent right now? Because Yahweh told me long ago, he said, I'll begin to make the name of Jesus a mockery in the earth. They'll be embarrassed about it. Some will be ashamed to use it because of what it's associated with. It's a joke.
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much, Michael Das.
Apostle, on the same note, the pastor at Magnum Assembly, his name is spelled with L-A-L-L.
Right?
And his brother name is spelled L-A-L. Mistake from the
Right.
He has made a boast in Magnum Assembly that you cannot spell the brother name L-A-L-L. He will rebuke you.
Just one L.
Just one L. But these very people, I know he named Yeshua. Why call you Jesus? Jesus said no wonderful name.
Oh man, oh church, oh, please. Let me be angry at peace. You can be nice with them. But
Yeah,
I will tell
Apostle,
you,
me too.
they're evil.
Definitely.
Any preacher who knows the truth and tells you something else is evil. They can't be called good. Before Nehemiah talks, let me ask you a question. And I like this fellowship. Y'all honest bad. I like that. Y'all just tell me the truth. Make me feel comfortable. You know that. How many of you have ever been tricked by somebody before? Don't lie to me, man. I ask you a trick question.
Yes.
Okay. Men who put down. So some of y'all can. Ladies. No, y'all put down. Don't be scared. Don't be
What
scared.
in a lamp?
Sister, how many of you don't ever say? Just answer. Don't be mad. How many of you have had a man in your lifetime from childhood evidence, from little girl high school days, had a boy or a young man tell you something and made he really convinced you that he's the best person in the world, and then he broke your heart. Oh, John.
Yes, I got you.
It's okay. It's alright. It's alright. Good. Married? Wait a minute. Man. Okay then. Alright. We work it out for now. So ladies, you haven't answered me now. Have you ever seen a mean, evil, terrible con man when he approached you? He was nice, wasn't he?
Yes.
Good. Tricksters are always nice, quiet, soft.
Smooth.
Because I was one myself.
Smooth.
My brothers, you have to stop now. If you were a trickster, put your hand up.
Yes, Apostle.
What's the best guy? Brother Christ, I can't remember. I don't recall. I was bad. Was. Terrible. I was the nicest creature you could find. A con man is nice.
Yes, yes.
Because that's how they make their way into your life.
Right.
Alan Stanford was a very nice guy. He always smiled.
Yes, he
And
was.
shut Antigua down.
Yes.
Bernie Madoff was a nice cool kid. But he shut the US, he robbed people of billions of dollars. Con men and what are the pastors like Joel Osteen? Oh, go ahead, Neymar.
Right? But recently, whenever a conversation arises like that, and someone around me has a problem with it or something, I don't even have to say anything, and other people around me are saying that, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Wow.
What's wrong with Yeshiva? And I was just surprised.
Bless you. God, the word is spreading, man.
Yes.
There's a generation now that tell the adults, chill. And that the religious ones say, stop. Because they have more sense than half the preachers I know. But this is all we cannot do anything about the truth.
Apostle, you know, Morris Sorrello, right?
Yes, I do.
Right. Morris Sorrello claims, I think he said he was a Jew, he's an orphan, he's a Jew. I never heard him say anything about Yahweh or Yeshua.
Benny
Never, ever.
Benny Hinn is a Jew. I'm talking Jesus all the time.
Every
All the time.
I went to at least 3 or 4 big, huge meetings, you know.
Right.
I never heard anything else but Jesus.
That's correct. And he's a Jew. Brother Junior hand was up? Okay. So since I bid you shalom, I thank Yahweh for your listening today. And I pray that you go home and rest for real.
Amen.
Stop losing sleep when you're delivered.
Amen.
You are free.
Amen.
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 Walk in the freedom.
Yes.
Stand fast in the freedom.
Yes.
Know that you've been chosen to be in the house.
House.
Amen?
Yes.
If it's good for you, shalom to you all, and thank you so much as well.